Hi everyone, nubkeks here. Welcome back to Nub Raids. In today's video, it's our first champion guide of 2022, and it's a guide for probably my personal favorite champion in the game right now. I absolutely love her. It is Elenaril. Big shout out to Albie, who actually asked for this particular video. He said a video about Elenaril would be nice. Watched your simple guide and said you're using her a lot. I use her as well, but currently only for Frostbiter. It's a niche topic, not a lot of people have her, and that is fair. That's why, let me know if you like these sort of videos like Albie did. Post it in the comments, hop onto the Discord like Albie did, and you can talk to me there in the chat room for Raid Shadow Legends on my Discord. But yeah, if there are champions that you want to see guides for, let me know. That's what I love to do. I know with Elenaril, not a lot of people have her, but I love her so much, and she's so underrated, I could not resist showing her to you. So what does Elenaril do, first of all? Then I'll show her the build, and then I'll show you all the areas, and there's a lot that I use her for in my end game teams, my speed clearing teams. So her A1, Searing Rebuke, attacks one enemy, puts a HP burn debuff for 2 turns, and it cannot be resisted, right? So long as she doesn't weak hit, it's a guaranteed 100% chance HP burn, cannot be resisted, and actually books up with 30% extra damage. This hits pretty hard. Her A2 then, Smolder, 3-turn cooldown. When booked, attacks all enemies, puts a 5% poison debuff for 2 turns, puts a second 5% poison debuff for 2 turns if the attack is critical. We're obviously going to be building her with 100% crit, so she'll always crit. So it's always going to put 2 5% poison debuffs for 2 turns on an AoE hit. The multiplier on this is actually really good. It's a 4.7 times attack multiplier, which is pretty huge, like for example, a couple of champions that will feature in today's video as well. Where is he? Where's my Astralon? Astralon, for example, Astralon on his AoE, it's only a 4 times multiplier on his AoE. Or Ethos, who's going to feature as well. Whereas Ethos has a 4.2 on his first AoE, and I think a 4.4 on his second. So Elenaril coming in with the 4.6 is actually pretty, 4.7 is actually pretty huge. Her base attack's a little lower than those champions, but still, this hits hard, 20% extra damage from books. And then finally, this is the thing that really brings it all together, Combust. 4-turn cooldown when booked. You need to book her. She needs to be booked. Does damage from all poison debuffs on all enemies instantly. So it just explodes all of the poisons. There's only 2 champions in the entire game that can do this right now, which is Elenaril and then Xavia, who's a Force Affinity Dark Elf legendary. So only legendaries. Elenaril's one of the 2. Then her aura is crit rate, 24% in faction crits. It's actually pretty good. There's not that many good high elf auras. You probably have, worth mentioning, Alexander. If you have Alexander, you're probably using his aura, like accuracy. It's maybe a bit more useful, and throw that into the high elf crypt. You do use Elenaril to empower Alexander, but number 1, I wouldn't empower Alexander, and number 2, I certainly wouldn't be using my Elenarils to empower Alexander, because Elenaril's way better. In terms of her masteries, I have her pretty straightforward down the offense tree. It is important to get her Master Hexer, a chance to extend her debuffs, so extend those HP burns. More importantly, to extend the poisons that she applies, and the extra accuracy is nice. And then I actually have her down the you can't quite see it, but she has War Master for a bit of extra damage, and then otherwise just down this tree. Also important to give her Kill Streak, which ups her damage whenever she kills stuff. She's gonna kill stuff. Then I give her Whirlwind of Death for more speed, and Cycle of Violence, which can reduce her cooldowns when she does 30% of an enemy's max HP, which she does, obviously. In terms of her artifacts, I'll show you these really fast. What do I have her built to do? Actually, base stats first. Base stats, her HP is a little bit low. Her attack is actually solid. It's good attack. It's not as high as your other typically 15 to 1600 is like your top tier attack based legendaries, so she's lower than that. Her attack's a little bit lower, but her multipliers are really good, but it's still a solid attack. Her defense is actually fantastic. Again, if we look at Astralon is obviously way more attack, but his defense is way lower. Something like Ninja, again, his attack is higher, but his defense is way lower. Alexander, same sort of thing. She's got really good defense. So yeah, apart from her HP being low, she's actually reasonably tanky, bit slow, and then the rest is there. What have we done with her with the build? Main thing, cranked her speed way up, so we want her to be very quick. She has enough accuracy. I actually have her built with a decent chunk of resistance as well. 100% crit rate, not too much crit damage. Her HP, I'd like to be higher, 32k. It's a little low, but it is what it is. And then we have her up over 4,000 attack. That's how I have her built. Straightforward enough. Perception sets and speed. She has in terms of the things, and attack percentage, chest place, obviously speed boots, crit rate gloves just to get that crit rate up. Then I have her in a HP ring, actually with some defensive stats, just to up her HP a bit so she doesn't die, crit damage, and actually have her in a resistance banner, which we could switch up. But yeah, it just shows you that we're reaching this good, really good speed without needing speed on the banner. So yeah, you've got some flexibility in terms of how you build that stuff. Let's throw, actually, you know what? Let's throw her into a run, and just to show you the underratedness of this champion, looking at her reviews, you know, people think she's okay for the Demon Lord, but apart from that, it's kind of underwhelming. I thought, you know what? People are giving her 3.4 in Fire Knight. She's pretty crap for Fire Knight, according to over 1,000 reviews there. Let's throw in a Fire and let's see how she does. I don't want to buy faction accessories. Let's throw her into the Fire Knight, where she is in my endgame team. Let's go down. The heart is Fire Knight, level 25, and let's hit go, and here we go. Let's watch what Elenaril does. This is what Poison Explosion can do for you. So in turn 1, we'll talk about what the other champions are doing next, but basically she comes in with the Smolder, hits hard, applying the poison. Tomb Lord puts 4 poisons as well, and we're going to come back around to Elenaril here. Combust, pop, pops them all, almost kill them. One guy had resisted some of the poison, so he didn't die, but that's okay. Coming into wave number 2, Smolder comes out again, more poisons. Ninja's gonna freeze these guys in AoE so they miss their turns. Lydia's doing her things. Elenaril placing the HP burn with her A1. Here come the poisons from Tomb Lord, and then back around to Elenaril in a second. Okay, probably one more turn for Combust. That's okay. Hail burns coming out. Bang, bang. Combust, pop, and then one guy lived at 1 hit point. That's okay. But yeah, 50 seconds, and we're hitting the boss. We're already into the boss, which is lovely. So really, really nice. Again, she's got a Smolder. She's not really any good at breaking the shield on the Fire Knight here, but that's okay. We've got enough multi-hits with Tomb Lord and with Allure to break down that shield. Now we've got the burn. She's applying the burn onto the boss, which will slightly up Ninja's damage. That's not a big deal. Ninja's going to come in with the hail burn there, do some pretty good damage. Allure keeping the turn meter down. Smolder comes in. Death Burst comes in then from Tomb Lord. We've got a bunch of poisons on the boss. Coming around to Elenaril. Combust, which does the maximum damage, right? This is a dungeon level 25, so there is a maximum damage you can do to, I think, 10% of the boss's HP in a single hit. So Combust just basically rips off the poisons and does that. So yeah, this is basically how the run goes, right? This is basically how the run goes. She's there mainly to clear the waves, but actually with her Combust, she's going to do some nice chunks to the boss, on top of the fact that she just hits pretty hard anyway, plus with War Master. And again, we've got Ninjas doing the main bit, killing the boss, plus with Lydia. And there we go, 156 on Fire Knight 25. And you can see the damage breakdown here. Elenaril doing most of it, killing the waves. Ninja doing a good chunk, killing the boss. And that's the idea of this team, right? That's the idea of this team. If I show you specifically, the team setup, if you want to copy this, and the conception behind it, Fire Knight, Tomb Lord, he has his Blight ability turned off. Tomb Lord is basically in there to apply a bunch of AoE poisons. This is really important for Elenaril, right? For her to one-shot these waves, you need someone like Tomb Lord, or you could use Taurus. He's a Skinwalker epic. You could use Rishtov the Bold. You basically need some other champions to apply more poisons, because although Elenaril does apply poisons, she doesn't apply enough by herself to one-shot the waves. So Tomb Lord comes in to do that. Then he also has a 3-hitter with decreased speed on his A1, which helps with the Fire Knight boss. Elenaril's doing her thing. Have her set to open with Smolder. That's important, because otherwise Tomb Lord, for me, is faster than her. She outspeeds him when she starts killing stuff, but he's faster turn 1, right? So this is important to make sure that she does Smolder turn 1. Otherwise, Tomb Lord's going to put out his Death Burst, and Elenaril's just going to combust his Death Burst. You want her to Smolder first to up her combust damage. Lydia is just doing Lydia things. She's really just there to speed up the boss killing with decreased defense and weaken, getting more damage out against the boss. That's her main purpose. Allure is essential, very, very fast. She's in there pretty much just for this. Psychic Whip, which almost by herself, I think in fact, basically entirely by herself, effectively, stops the Fire Knight from ever taking a turn. She's just MVP for Fire Knight in general. And then Ninja is in there. I have mine in Relentless set, so I have him set to open with Shatterbolt. And his main goal in this team is number 1, to kill the boss, and number 2, to AoE freeze the second wave so they don't hit us. So that's Fire Knight. Works well, huh? Well, that's not all. That is not all. We don't use her in Spider. What about in Dragon Slayer, though? Hell yeah, she works in Dragon Slayer. Now, Dragon Slayer, Force Affinity for 25, so we can't do 25. Let's jump into 24, though. And here we have almost the entirely same team. Lydia, to help us kill the boss faster, decrease defense and weaken. Those don't affect the poison damage, right? Tomb Lord for AoE poisons. Elenaril, doing her thing. Ninja to kill the boss. Then we've Renegade to reset our abilities. So we've ditched the Allure. We don't need Allure for turn meter control. We're going to bring in Renegade to speed us up instead. So Lydia comes in, decrease defense and weaken. We've got the poisons from him. Smolder from Elenaril, hits hard, puts more poisons out. Here we go. Tomb Lord will do one more go. Ba ba ba. And Elenaril, poof. Basically kills almost everything while one thing lived. That's actually not so good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. It's gone wrong. Somehow she resisted. So this is going to be a bad run. We'll do another run after this. No, we still have the Smolder. Actually, maybe we're okay. Hail Burn. I figured that this is probably not going to go too well. Yeah, she's going to combust early. That's unfortunate. So this run's going to be a little bit wonky, but we'll still get through. These are still, as you can see, it can go wrong and it still works. I'll show you the full proper run, though, next time. That's a little unfortunate. As you can see, because of Lydia and Ninja and just the raw damage that Elenaril does as well, we're more than capable of just ripping through these waves anyway. So we get there 50 seconds. We'll do this again because it can be faster. Poison sensitivity from Lydia is fine. The dragon is going to kill a Renegade in the lead here. She's not going to live for long. The HP burn, of course, from Elenaril is helpful. Goes well with Ninja. Ninja's going to start ripping that boss with the HP burn. The poison's doing some work as well. We've got the Smolder coming out. Boss is almost down. Hail burn starts ripping through. Another Smolder. Let's see Elenaril combust the boss. How much will that do? Again, does the max damage that you can do to the dragon. It's a decent chunk. The dragon roars, and I think we're actually going to clear this pretty quick. That was actually pretty quick. 127. Not bad at all. Oh, that's not bad. Attack percentage, 6-star chest with speed and crit damage. I will keep that. Thank you very much. Let's run it again. It's very quick. And let's see if we can, let's see if it works properly this time. I'm not sure what went wrong there. We must have had some sort of resist. But that's all right. Okay, we're beating the crap out of her. Combust. There we go. We kill the whole wave. That is one thing to know about this with the Elenaril build and Tomb Lord, is that, you know, there is some randomness in the sense that basically you're relying somewhat on Master Hexer to extend the poison debuffs, and if that doesn't happen, then you can, you know, you might not necessarily one-shot people. So you can see here, for example, because they were frozen, they're taking slightly less damage, I think. It doesn't quite kill them, but we rip through them, and 40 seconds in, we're hitting the dragon. Right, so there is some randomness there. Seer, for example, just the whole wave nuking thing as well, but she's a bit more consistent in that sense. You could run a different sort of team if you had more poison applicators. I don't have it set up right now, and I'm pretty happy with the teams, you know. But you could go in with other legendaries like, you know, like Calvalax or with Taurus, the Epic Taurus, or with Xavia. You could go in with some other teams that would, you know, apply more poison stacks, and you just go in that way, applying more poison to nuke them. But I found with Elenaril and with Tomb Lord, or Taurus, or whoever, that it's actually plenty. And the advantage of this team is that we rip through these bosses very quickly. She's going to kill herself. We salute your noble sacrifice. Ninja. Another thing that makes this a bit random is my Ninja does have Relentless. Oh, look at that. Elenaril lives at 1 HP. Finishes him off with Combust. 126. Not too bad. Yeah, my Ninja is Relentless, so that's why I have him set to Shatterbolt at the start, because he goes a bit... He can do some crazy things when Relentless pops off. Then, I've been working on this team, and this is not fully consistent, but Ice Golem 24... I've been working on a team, and I've got this team set up as well, which again is almost the same. Now, we've ditched Lydia this time, and we've ditched Ninja, because they are in there to kill the boss. And importantly for Ice Golem, we don't want to kill the boss with damage, because he counterattacks and murders us, which is not good. We're going to try kill him with poison instead. So there you go. This is a team with more poison, right? More poison. We've got Urigrim, who applies, I think, 2 stacks of poison. So the same thing that she will do, Elenaril will do. Put them in AoE. So there comes the Death Burst. Here comes Eurogrim. Poisons everywhere. Astralon's in there to stun. So Astralon AoE stuns the second wave, so it can't attack us. And yeah, here we go. I actually have Blight turned on Tomb Lord. I literally was just working on this team today, because it's something I've been meaning to do. But I've been so distracted with Hydra and stuff like that. I never really farmed the Ice Golem. But I've been sick and tired of the Ice Golem. He's a pain in the ass. So I've been working on this team, and this is kind of the best I can put together for now. And again, the difference with this team, really, here we go. She combusts, bam, counterattack comes in, starts murdering some of us. The idea with this team is that basically poisons do not trigger the Frigid Vengeance counterattack. As you can see, combust from Elenaril does. And the danger of this going wrong is if you trigger any of these counterattacks while the Ice Golem still has adds alive. I don't quite have my Eurogrim geared enough to make this work fully properly. Where he will die, but when I roll his gear up a bit more, he will be able to survive maybe a counterattack with one of the adds still alive. So right there actually worked great. We didn't trigger the counterattack quite yet. Here it comes. Bang. So yeah, I can maybe get this to run faster. I think the ideal way to make this run faster would be to just have everyone die more quickly. They're not dying because we have decreased attack on the boss from Tomb Lord. But what I found when I was running it was that if I didn't put... Here we go. Beautiful. 144. If I didn't put decreased attack on that Eurogrim, my Eurogrim's not tanky enough to survive. But yeah, that's how I have this one set up. So that, yeah, as you can see, it works pretty well too. So there you go. Elenaril coming in and kind of being the MVP for 3 of the 4 endgame dungeons. She's also going to be good at other ones as well, by the way. She'll be good at other dungeons. She'll be good against Minotaur, not really good against Spider, and she'll be fine in pretty much all of the keeps as well. Maybe not Force Keep, but she'll do well in the other keeps too. I don't think I really need to show you that. But I think one thing that could be fun, we'll just throw her in here as well. Let's put her up against Ethos. Ethos is my campaign farmer, arena nuker. So right now he has 5,000 attack. He has 244% crit damage, and he's got a Savage set on as well. Let's see how we go in Faction Wars, because Faction Wars is up today. Let's throw Elenaril in there. Oh, I should also mention, as we're running through this, and we got Tatura in here and Alexander as well, an Arbiter. I should also mention the Frost Spider. I can't show it to you right now because we're not far enough into Doom Tower, but Elenaril is great against the Frost Spider, guys. She's super good. The Frost Spider in Doom Tower, what's its deal? Has too many spiders to its side. It also has, then it's frozen when you're fighting the Frost Spider. It's got Frost Armor, which gives it massively more resistance and massively more defenses. And also, if you kill it, it will just respawn. How do you deal with that? You either have to have a block reviver with you when you kill it, which is difficult enough, or if he has HP burn on, it removes his frost armor. He takes way more damage, and you can kill him and he won't revive. Elenaril is perfect for this boss. Oh, this is a bit annoying. They got unkillable. Come on, Arbiter, clear it off, please. Maybe. Well, we'll see. She's thinking about it. Here she goes. Okay, 1 turn left, 1 down. All right. But yeah, so Elenaril's great for the Frost Spider. Super good. Why? Because her A1 is an unresistible HP burn. Right. Normally that Frost Spider comes in and I think on like hard Doom Tower max level, he's something like 600 resistance. Something like that. Really high resistance. So it's a pain in the ass to get the HP burn on consistently. Elenaril, no problem. Every single A1, HP burn on the big spider, which kills him pretty quick. And then the poison damage that she does will help you kill off the side spiders quickly as well. And yeah, she just makes that whole fight a breeze. She really does. She even works for that fight at level 50. I think that was our comment from Albie to start the video off. He uses her, just level 50, not built or anything, but she just does the HP burn for Frost Spider, so she can do that. My personal recommendation, though, if you do want to use her more in these dungeons, you do want to get her to 60. The stats from the banner are really good, and getting War Master really ups her damage, ups her survivability, all the rest. But here we go, we're ripping through this boss now. I don't have Tatura booked yet. I'm going to book him tomorrow in CVC, and we'll do a guide on Tatura then. But yeah, this boss will probably go a bit faster once Tatura is booked, so that he can, stop this boss freezing us and all that. But let's see how we're doing here. Bam, Smolder. 2 minutes, not too bad, but we come out at the end. Hey, look who's #1, team. Look who's number 1. Ethos, you know, Void Legendary Nuker built well. Step aside, my friend. Elenaril coming in with 1.1 million damage. Not too bad. So, yeah, there you go. Not a champion you really hear talked about much at all. I think not a champion that is respected much at all. But as you can see, again, without crazy crit damage or crazy attack, I think just, you know, a fairly achievable build, really. Nothing too crazy, just making her fast. She is an absolute monster. Useful in multiple areas of the game. Like I said, for me, MVP of Dragon, MVP of Fire Knight, MVP of just a whole lot of places. What was it? Ice Golem as well. She's just super, super good at all of those. MVP in Faction Wars. And yeah, she's just amazing, right? She's fantastic. In Arena, she can be a decent nuker. I mean, like I said, 4.7 multiplier on Smolder. It's going to do a hard AoE hit. And then the poisons will do some useful trickle damage. So she's going to be fine there. I think not too exceptional. But she's going to be fine for Arena. If you're stuck, there's better. She's serviceable. I think for Hydra, people are rating her pretty highly for Hydra. I'm a little bit wary of that. I've tried her in Hydra, and she's okay. The issue with Hydra is that 3 of the heads are just entirely immune to poison. And then the other slight issue is that if you're doing it full auto, she tends to just be shooting the same target over and over again. Now, if you were going to manual your Hydra run and have her shoot a different head every single time, you could actually spread around HP burn pretty effectively. And in that situation, I think she'll be okay. So she's okay for Hydra, I would say. I'm personally not using her. One nice thing to know, actually, is because she combusts, because she blows up the poisons, it does help against the head of... I can't remember what it's called. The head that cleanses, decay. The head that cleanses all debuffs, right? That makes poisoners even worse because he just removes all the poisons. Well, the nice thing about Elenaril is because she blows the poisons up by herself, she actually removes them. She just, yeah, she kind of works around that. She'll apply the poisons and then she'll pop them before the head can cleanse them away often. So that does work kind of nicely, but I'm not too excited about her in Hydra quite yet. We'll see. Maybe I'll come back to it and make her work, but I figure being MVP in most of my dungeon runs and a lot of Doom Tower and just Faction Wars and everything is pretty good going for Elenaril. So there you go. Let me know what you think. Again, if there's any champions you want to see guides on, do let me know. But that was my look at Elenaril. Super underrated and extremely good champion. One of my faves, if not my absolute fave. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And by the way, I will mention, I have Seer. I do have Seer in the vault, apparently. But I do have Seer. And Seer is built with, you know, good crit, well, decent crit damage as well. Seer's there. But for me, Elenaril just works a little bit better. For me, she works a bit better. And she makes those dungeon runs just super good. So there you go. Thank you. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.